What's up guys, I'm Dave Klein, aka Dave Control, and I wanted to give you guys an ending guide on how to get the various endings of Elden Ring, how you can potentially mess them up, which ones give you achievements, and how to make sure you progress them properly. With the game being so long and massive, it can be frustrating to feel like you messed up one step and have to pay for it hours later. I know, because I screwed up 2 of the potential endings. There will be spoilers in this guide, but to try and mitigate that the best I can, I'll have timestamps in the description so you can hop to the specific ending guide you're interested in. There are 6 potential endings in Elden Ring, and most are related to side quests, so let's do this. We start with the normal ending you're going to get, the Age of Fracture. Doing this will get you the Elden Lord achievement. There are multiple Elden Lord endings, and all this one requires is, well, nothing. Just touch Fractured America and choose Mend the Elden Ring. As a caveat, if you've progressed the Lord of Frenzied Flame past a certain point, you won't be able to choose any ending other than Frenzied Flame, unless you complete a series of side quests, but I'll cover that in the Lord of Frenzied Flame section. Now we get into the interesting side quests and the Age of Duskborn ending. This one will also get you the Elden Lord achievement, so it really just changes the ending a little and is interesting from a story and lore perspective. This particular side quest involves Roger, Dee, Deathbed Fia, and Dee's brother. You can actually mess up part of this side quest to be okay, but I'll still cover the specifics. To start this off, speak with Roger at Stormvale Castle. Afterwards, you're going to need to head down to the secret area where you'll find a tree spirit and the Deathroot tree that's spreading throughout Stormvale and likely in the image of Godwyn. Touch the bloodstain and note that it's Roger getting impaled. Everything from here on out regarding Roger is interesting, especially from a lore perspective and what he'll tell you, but in regards to actually finishing the quest, don't worry if you missed it, it actually isn't necessary. What is necessary is to speak with the deathbed companion Fia. To speak with her, you have to let her hold you again after she gives you the Baldachin's blessing. Eventually, she'll give you a weathered dagger and ask you to return it to its owner. This isn't Dee, but he knows the owner, so give it to him. In a chilling scene, Fia will kill Dee, but in terms of getting the ending, don't worry, this is supposed to happen and Fia will disappear. At this point, you're going to have to head into Nokron, the Eternal City. To get here, defeat Radahn, let the meteor hit, and you'll find where the meteor struck next to Fort Height. Within Nokron, you can find an aqueduct area, and for beating the bosses, be able to travel up the waterfall behind them and into the Deeproot Depths. Find the main boss area here, and you'll have to defeat Fia's champions. Don't worry about the fact that she essentially tried to kill you. Walk up to her, and when you confront her, choose to side with her and say, "No, I want to be held." This will allow you to continue her questline. She'll now ask you for the Curse Mark of Death. To find it, you'll have to do Ranni's questline, which I'll detail in full later in the Age of Stars portion of the video. But to quickly talk about that, go to Ranni's tower, choose to help Ranni become the Empyrean, and by going down that route and helping her, eventually she'll give you a way to enter the Divine Tower of Liurnia. This is located at the Carian Study Hall, and she'll give you the means to access it. Make it to the Divine Tower of Liurnia, and you'll find the Curse Mark of Death on her discarded body. Now that you have the Curse Mark of Death, bring it back to Fia, reload, and then enter her dream to fight the Lich Dragon Fortisax. Defeat him, and you'll be able to get the Rune of the Death Prince. Now, when you beat the game, you'll have the option to use this on Fractured America, which will yield you the Age of Duskborn ending. This is yet another ending that will get you the Elden Lord achievement. For the Age of Despair, you'll need to finish the Dung Eater's questline. What this involves is finding a Seedbed Curse. Once you do, the Dung Eater Phantom at the Round Table Hold will give you a key in order to unlock his prison cell underneath the royal capital of Leyndell. The Dung Eater's prison cell can be found within the Well of Leyndell that you can see me entering here, or here on a map. Once you enter this well, you'll eventually reach the subterranean shunning grounds. Once you've found the underground roadside site of Grace, exit to your left or northeast and head right into the caged hole in the ground. After you drop down into the sewer and defeat the rats, you'll have an option to leave through a pipe to your right or through some Miranda blooms on your left. Head past the Miranda blooms and up the ladder. At the end of this path, you'll reach the Dung Eater's prison cell. Speak with him, and as awful as it is, tell him to leave his jail. Once he does, head back to where the Dung Eater Phantom was at the Round Table Hold, and you'll find a message telling you to meet him at the Outer Moat. This refers to the Outer Moat of Leyndell. You can find this section of the moat where he invades just northwest of the capital rampart site of Grace. As a note, if you've been following Blackguard's storyline, he'll end up here and it's well worth doing it, as it will net you an additional seabed curse, which you'll need to fully finish this questline. Defeat the Dung Eater's phantom here, and then return to him at the Round Table Hold, where he'll ask you to implant his corporeal form in the subterranean shunning grounds with the seedbed curse. You'll now need 5 seedbed curses. I gave him 4 and then killed him, completely screwing myself out of properly finishing this questline. It's my understanding that if you give him less than 5, as long as you don't kill him like I did, you can always return and give him more. Afterwards, you'll get the Mending Rune of the Fell Curse from him. Now, like the previous questlines, you'll have a new option at Fractured America, allowing you to get this ending. This is yet another ending that will get you the Elden Lord achievement. For the Age of Order questline, you'll need Brother Corrin and Gold Mask. As a heads up, you can screw yourself out of this ending. This is the other one I messed up. I think the way to screw it up is by having Melina do her event at the mountaintops of the Giants before you progress the storyline along enough. This happened to me, and I later found Brother Corrin dead on the Altus Plateau before I was able to properly progress this storyline. So to do this one, once you reach the Altus Plateau, speak with Brother Corrin. He'll tell you he's leaving to find Gold Mask. He heads to the Altus Plateau, just north of the Altus Highway Junction site of Grace, along the trail and where you found the Altus Plateau map fragment. After speaking with him, go find Gold Mask. Gold Mask can be found on the broken down forest-spanning Great Bridge. All you need to do is head north to it, warp across, then turn around, and you'll find Gold Mask at the edge staring at the Erd Tree. Speak with him, even though he'll say nothing back to you, and return to Brother Corrin. Corrin will now move next to Gold Mask, so speak to both of them to progress the storyline further, which will happen after you have 2 great runes. You'll now find them in Leyndell, the capital city, on a cliff near the Colosseum. After talking with them in full, you'll now need to head to the Radagon statue in Leyndell, the capital city, which can be found after fighting Godfrey, the first Elden Lord's phantom. In order to solve this puzzle, you'll need to obtain the spell Law of Regression. You can find this by traveling out of an exit and onto the roof of the upper level where you fought Godfrey, the first Elden Lord's phantom. From here, travel up and back into the top level of the Godfrey first Elden Lord boss fight. Here you'll be able to find the Golden Order Principia prayer book, which contains the Law of Regression spell within. Now you'll need to travel to Radagon statue, which you can find by going down an elevator just outside of this very same boss chamber. The statue has a message in the front that says, "Regression alone reveals secrets." So, cast Law of Regression here for a major lore reveal. After this shocking discovery, go chat with Brother Corrin and Gold Mask. After this point, the pair will move to the bridge south of the Stargazer's runes at the mountaintops of the Giants. Speak with them again here. Finally, you'll need to finish crumbling Farum Azula before you fully finish this. You'll find Gold Mask's corpse in Leyndell, Ashen City near the Colosseum and containing the Rune of Perfect Order. Once again, you'll need to choose to use this rune on Fractured America, which will net you the Age of Order ending. The 5th ending will get you the Age of Stars achievement. In order to do this one, you'll have to progress Ranni's storyline. The first thing you'll have to do here is visit Ranni at Ranni's Tower, located in the Three Sisters here, behind Caria Manor. Ranni was the one behind stealing the Death Rune mentioned in the story trailer to Elden Ring. She wants to bring about an entirely new age, so choose to help her out. And don't worry, this won't lock you out of anything else in the game, it's even required for the Age of Duskborn ending to progress her storyline. Once you've done this, you can help out Blythe or Celavis and learn that the blacksmith Iji is actually her war counselor. And while all of that's interesting, none of it is actually required of you for this ending. The only thing you'll need to do is head into Caelid and defeat Starscourge Radahn. Take him out, and a meteorite will strike the lands between, specifically hitting right next to Fort Height. Use this opening as an opportunity to travel down and into the amazingly cool Nokron, the Eternal City. Head down here and explore until you find the ancestral wood site of Grace located here. Now, if you look behind you, there's actually a set of buildings you can jump on and explore, which will lead you to the Knight's Sacred Ground. You'll need to fully explore here in order to find the Fingerslayer Blade and the next quest item you'll need for Ranni. So return to Ranni, hand her the blade, and she'll give you the Carian inverted statue before heading off. You can use this inverted statue at the Carian Study Hall in order to find an item you'll need to progress the Age of the Duskborn storyline. Meanwhile, Renna's tower located within the Three Sisters will have now opened up, so travel there and you'll discover a warp that will take you right into a previously inaccessible part of Ainsel River and Noxtella the Eternal City. Thoroughly explore this and first defeat the Baleful Shadow, for which you'll be rewarded a discarded palace key. Next, defeat Astel, Natural Born of the Void, and behind him you'll find a lift that will take you up to the Moonlight Altar. Travel back to the Rea Lucaria Grand Library. You'll need to have defeated Renala in order to access it. You're now able to open the mysterious locked chest, and within it you'll find the Dark Moon Ring. Now, from the Moonlight Altar, head directly south past Glintstone Dragon Adula, and you'll reach the Cathedral of Manus Celis, where you'll be able to find Ranni, give her the ring, and now be able to access the Age of Stars ending after you beat the final boss. You'll also get the Dark Moon Greatsword, Elden Ring's Moonlight Greatsword, for doing this quest, so that's pretty amazing. Now, when you reach Fractured Marika, instead of choosing an option on her, choose to summon Ranni at her summon sign, and you'll get her ending along with the achievement. And now, the final ending, Lord of the Frenzied Flame, which will also net you an achievement. As a note, this one is extremely difficult to back out of once you've started it, so I'll both guide you into how to unlock this ending and how to seal it away so you can go back to getting the other endings. Let's start with unlocking the ending. Hyetta, the Blind Maiden, is related to this questline, but you actually don't need to complete her quest in order to unlock this ending. All you need to do is head into Lanedale Capital City and find the well located here. This is the same well you'll need to enter in order to find Dung Eater's true body. However, for this one, you'll need to fully explore the subterranean shunning grounds. If you can reach the bottom of this underground maze, you'll eventually find Mohg, the Omen. For defeating him, you'll get the Cathedral of the Forsaken Site of Grace, and Melina will beg you to turn around.
Please, leave the Frenzied Flame alone.
However, this instead clued me in on the fact something was going on in this room, so hit the altar and it will reveal a secret passage that travels even lower under the capital and is disturbingly filled with the bodies of those who have gone insane. Make your way to the bottom doing some FromSoftware-esque platforming and strip down into your undies. Once you're naked, you'll be able to approach the Three Fingers, who will brand you and make you a glowing cluster of madness. At this point, you are now locked into the Lord of the Frenzied Flame ending. All you need to do is finish the game and touch the Fractured Marika. You won't even have the option to summon Ranni. In order to undo this, you'll need to complete Millicent's questline. Millicent is the plague-ridden woman who's dying of scarlet rot in the Cathedral of the Plague, which is located here, directly east of Sellia, Town of Sorcery. The first thing you'll need to do is head to Sage Gowry's shack, located at the entrance to Sellia, Town of Sorcery. He'll ask you to help out Millicent, which requires you to find an unalloyed gold needle. You can find this in the heart of Aeonia Swamp, located here on a map, by defeating Commander O'Neill. Return to Sage Gowry, give him the unalloyed gold needle, rest at a site of grace, and return to him for a fixed version of this needle. Now you'll need to bring it to Millicent, which will cure her temporarily of her rotting sickness. Exhaust her dialogue until she leaves the church, and now head back to Gowry's shack, where you'll find her. Once again, exhaust her dialogue so she leaves. Next up, you'll need to head into the Shaded Castle, located here on the north side of the Altus Plateau. Within this castle, beyond a clean rot night, you'll be able to find a chest that contains the Valkyrie's prosthesis. You'll need this to continue Millicent's questline. Now, you'll find her up on Altus Plateau, right by the Erdtree Gazing Hill Site of Grace. She'll lament that she can no longer fight without her sword arm, so give her the Valkyrie's prosthesis. Next up, head to Dominula Windmill Village, where you'll need to defeat the Godskin Apostle. After you do this, rest at the Site of Grace, and you can find Millicent at Dominula, near the Windmill Heights Site of Grace. After chatting with her, she'll once again move, now to the mountaintops of the Giants and near the ancient Snow Valley Ruins Site of Grace. It's located here on a map. Once again, exhaust her dialogue. Alright, all of that done, it's now time to head into Miquella's Haligtree. To access it, you'll need to find both Haligtree's secret medallions and use them at the Grand Lift of Rold. One of these can be found at Castle Sol in the mountaintops of the Giants, where you'll need to defeat Commander Nile in order to reach it. The other can be found at the village of the Albinorics. You'll have to find Albus the Albinoric, who's hiding disguised as a giant pot. Just roll into it and you'll break the illusion. After talking to him, Albus will give you the other half of the medallion. Finally, you'll have to solve the puzzle of Ordina Liturgical Town, located here on a map, in order to reach Miquella's Haligtree. Work your way down, and at the Prayer Room Site of Grace in Alphael, Brace of the Haligtree, you'll find Millicent. Once again, chat with her and exhaust her dialogue. Now, you'll need to continue down Alphael until you reach the Drainage Channel Site of Grace. Turn around, head back up into the rot-infested portion of the Halix tree, and you'll be able to find an ulcerated tree spirit. Defeat this, rest at the Drainage Channel Site of Grace again, and return back to where the ulcerated tree spirit was. You'll now find a summon sign to either help or attack Millicent. Help her defeat her 4 sisters. Rest at a Site of Grace, return here and exhaust her dialogue. We're back to the Drainage Channel Site of Grace, rest and then return once again, and you'll find the unalloyed gold needle on her corpse. Now, it's time for the most difficult challenge of the game. You'll now have to defeat Malenia, Blade of Miquella. I'm not going to go too deeply on strategies to defeat her, but suffice to say, this was one of the only fights in the entire game I actually felt the need to use a Spirit Ash. For most builds, I'm going to recommend getting your Mimic Tier Ash to plus 10 for this fight, and she will still be nail-bitingly tough. Once you've done it, and you've conquered Malenia, you can now use your unalloyed needle on Malenia's Scarlet Rot Flower to receive Miquella's Needle. Miquella's Needle, as the description says, is the one thing that can quell the Frenzied Flame within, and thereby prevent you from getting the Lord of the Frenzied Flame ending if you use it on yourself after touching the 3 fingers. However, you still can't use it. As it says, the needle is as yet unfinished and can only be used in the Heart of the Storm Beyond Time, said to be found in Fara Missoula. So, you'll now need to enter and fully explore Crumbling Fara Missoula. The very last Site of Grace before the main boss of the area is the Beside the Great Bridge Site of Grace. From here, turn around, go down the elevator, exit the building you're in, head straight ahead, and drop onto the floating ledges. Travel down further and lie down near the Heart of the Tornado, which will seem to stop time itself and warp you into Dragon Lord Placid Dusax's boss chamber. And now, you can finally use Miquella's Needle on yourself. You actually don't need to defeat Dragon Lord Placid Dusax to use it, although defeating him does get you a convenient Site of Grace warp to quickly travel back here and use Miquella's Needle when you want. As a note, Miquella's Needle is a one-time use item, so once you use it, you permanently lock yourself out of getting the Lord of the Frenzied Flame ending. So if you want to get every ending and achievement in the game, I recommend save scumming before using the needle and then going from there. And there you go, a guide to how to get every ending in Elden Ring. I hope this helped, and make sure to stick to GameSpot for more in Elden Ring. We already have plenty of guides and other mechanics around the game, and I'll be working hard to bring you in-depth lore on Elden Ring coming soon, in line with my previous Souls lore videos I made over the years. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.